What is at the root of our emotional suffering? And better yet, how can we understand this root in a much deeper way so we can shift it into inner peace and joy, making happiness and fulfillment no longer something in the future, but an integral part of our journey that we experience along the way as we expand into all that we desire? These questions and more will be answered in this video. So stick around to the end so you can start experiencing inner peace and joy right now. I want to start this video by sharing with you a powerful quote from a book I'm reading called Loyalty to Your Soul, The Heart of Spiritual Psychology. The people who wrote this book, they literally founded a university that's based on the premise of spiritual psychology. How you relate to an issue is the issue, and how you relate to yourself while you go through an issue is the issue. Coming out of high school and finishing up school and coming into my life, I was going through a massive transition. I was depressed. I felt alone. I was scared. I didn't know what life was going to be. I was unhappy, dissatisfied, not at ease, not at peace. I was not okay. I lost my girlfriend, my two best friends, committed what I call social suicide. No, none of my friends, what I thought my friends, didn't actually want to hang out with me anymore. And I was directionless. I didn't know what to do. And I experienced a lot of emotional turmoil. This carried on for about a year. I was in this deep despair, and it's caused me to start searching for answers, to start looking for other possible ways of experiencing life. And what I realized is that a lot of the emotional suffering that I was experiencing wasn't actually because of what was happening to me. It was happening it was happening because of how I was responding and relating to those circumstances and situations. Because how we relate to things, how we experience things, is solely dependent on what we choose to relate to those things. To have a really solid example of this, I used to get a lot of road rage. I used to get so angry when someone would cut me off. I'd flip them off. Oh, fuck you, asshole. What the hell? And get so angry. And when I started creating more peace was when I realized that I don't have any control about what happens outside of me, but I do have control over how I respond. And I was acting out of what I think should happen. I was projecting my beliefs on how reality should be in order for me to be okay. So I was operating out of victim mentality. I was operating out of, I'm upset because this person cut me off. We operate out of that framework. I'm upset because this person yelled at me. I'm upset because someone didn't do the thing I asked them to do. What that is really saying on a fundamental level is that you are a victim to your external circumstances. And it isn't until we take 100% responsibility for how we feel and our emotions that we will never truly discover true inner peace and freedom. And what I got to realize is that who am I to say what is right and wrong? Who am I to say that this person can't cut me off and drive in front of me? Who am I to dictate how this person is supposed to drive? And it's like Buddha said, anger is like holding on to a hot coal and trying to throw it at someone else. You're the only one getting burned. So when I let go of my judgments, so how I thought that things are supposed to be, and now I ask myself, what would a peaceful reaction be, or a peaceful response be? Okay, yeah, you go ahead. You can go. Go ahead. I love you. I send you love and joy. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you get to where you need to go. And just like that, peace is stilled. So this is coming to what is the actual root of our suffering. It is judgment. Judgment is the root of our suffering because we have these predispositioned ideas and beliefs about how we think the reality should be and what is right and wrong. But the question becomes, How can you absolutely know that something is wrong? And the answer is you can't. Only the ego that has been formed throughout your life with the specific thoughts and emotions and beliefs and patterns that you've formed throughout your upbringing, you are filtering reality through this lens of how life should be. But those are just thoughts, those are just beliefs. Who are you to dictate what the ultimate spiritual intention is behind everything? Because there's always a lesson within things that we deem as negative or not the way we want them to be. What that opportunity is actually giving you when you're experiencing a negative circumstance or something that you see as wrong or shouldn't be this way, it's giving you an opportunity to practice being in your divinity, to practice being in unconditional love, to practice being in unconditional acceptance. Because it doesn't matter how much we fight and how much we struggle with the reality that's in front of us. The truth of the matter is that it is what it is. And there's nothing you can do to change that. You can only control how you respond and what you choose to do. And when you begin to accept things, you let go of this idea of right and wrong and begin to perceive reality through a higher plane, a higher dimension of unconditional love and acceptance, you begin to see things in ways you never saw things before. And your life transforms before you because now you're no longer trying to change and control your external environment to be okay. Now you can let this go and discover the inner peace and joy and happiness that is within you. Now happiness and peace isn't something that you're no longer striving for. Happiness and peace is the way, is the path. It becomes who you are and life becomes so much more joyful. I could have a perception of, oh, I need people to really like this video and I need to get a lot of views and I need it. I need this to be this certain way and I need you to show up this certain way in order for me to be okay. Or I can make a video, share my heart, share my experience, and let go of what I think needs to happen or how it's supposed to look like. Because who says it's supposed to look this way? Spirit, God, the universe, the energies that are holding this reality together are much more aware of the bigger picture and intelligent with what is unfolding in life. We are operating out of our limited framework, a limited perspective. Our minds can't comprehend the intricacies and the intelligence that life is operating out of. So we begin to move into a trust with life. That we trust the process of life. We trust ourselves and we trust the journey. Anxiety is just a worrying about something in the future, of not going the way that you want. And you can only experience anxiety about something in the future. You can't feel anxiety about something from the past because it's already happened. You can feel sad or upset about something that happened in the past, but anxiety and fear is future-based. It's worrying about something that may happen. I don't know if I'm going to pass this exam. I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. Blah, 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 blah. Worrying about something in the future. So the key to this is coming back to presence and practicing forgiveness. Now there's two types of forgiveness and they talk about it in the book. The first type of forgiveness is that I forgive you for doing this thing. Even though you really hurt me, I still forgive you. Now this is a step in the right direction that can be an uplifting experience for you of practicing forgiveness. But it's still a lower based form of forgiveness because subtly underneath the forgiveness, there's still a layer of judgment as what they did to you was wrong and bad. And the more powerful way to begin practicing self-forgiveness is having a compassionate self-forgiveness for yourself for initiating the judgments that created the emotional suffering to begin with. Because you aren't upset because of what they did. You're upset because you perceived as You perceived the thing that they did as wrong or bad and that they were trying to hurt you. How you perceived it and what your beliefs is what created the problem within yourself, the emotional turmoil, not the actual experience itself. And how we can forgive ourselves for holding this judgment is we can begin to ask ourselves, what is this trying to teach me? I judged myself for so long, the mistakes I made in my past. I used to lie, cheat, and steal. And I judge myself of I'm a bad person. This is wrong. It was a part of my past. But this is who I was now. And I'm a bad person. I'm not good enough because I did these things. But when I started to get curious about what those lessons actually taught me, they led to the destruction of my life. But that in turn led me to the greatest awakening of my life. And in hindsight, I can see how it was really serving me. And that's how life happens. We will continue to experience the things that we judge. We will continue to be taught the same lesson over and over and over again until we learn the lesson. Which is that we get to come to acceptance with what is, that is for our highest evolution and growth. So my question to you is, can you begin to let go of beliefs and ideas and preconditioned notions of how reality should be and begin to accept things as they are, because that's the only way that they are, is as they are. No matter how much you think and feel, want things to be different, they are the way they are, and there's nothing that you can do to change that. The only thing that you can do that's in your power is to begin to practice acceptance and love. And when you do this, your vibration rises and you start to see reality through a new lens. You perceive things in a higher way. Duality begins to dissolve in higher and higher planes and merge and become one. And solutions become available to you. And now you enjoy the journey so much more. Inner peace. Thich Nhat Hanh, he's a really famous Buddhist Vietnamese monk. And one of the things he says is that the realization that you have already arrived, that there is nothing left for you to get and there is nowhere for you to travel, this realization will bring you ultimate peace and joy. That you have already arrived. There is nowhere that you need to be in order to be okay. And when you start operating out of this place, now you're operating out of wholeness, out of excitement, out of curiosity. Cool. I'm already whole and complete. Now what I want to create. Not in this perpetual striving of trying to get somewhere someday to get external validation or approval or prove that you're good enough or that you're worthy, or trying to be something so you can get the love and the validation that you so deeply desire. You begin to give it to yourself now. Begin to be that now. Because when the fuck do we actually get to be happy? When I make $1 million and then I'm in a relationship and then I have a house and a car and then I'll be happy. I call bullshit to that. I want to be happy now. I want to, I am choosing to expand into those things as I develop along my journey. But I also get, and I also get to be peaceful now. This inner freedom that comes from this reality, this realization, is unparalleled. It is the freedom that no one can give you and no one can take from you. It is your innate worthiness and wholeness that you know you are a divine being and no one can give or take that from you. And that is freedom. And we get to have it all. We get to have inner peace. And I'm not saying give up on our desires or our goals. I'm just saying, how are we moving towards them? And what do we get to start believing and practicing to have inner peace that will actually not only bring us inner peace and freedom now, but it will speed us up in the realization of our dreams. Because now we're removing the resistance, the layers of how we think things are supposed to be. And now we're in co-creative harmony with the universe, with God, with source, with things, with life. With how the natural operation of creation works. And living fully present here in the now, the only moment that exists, where all your power lies. We get to stop being a victim. We take 100% responsibility for how we feel, and we begin to let go and forgive ourselves for the judgments that we are making. And begin to apply love, to begin to love ourselves, to love the world, and to accept things as they are. If you got value out of this video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if this resonates. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.